Stop! Has your high salary job started to feel like a burden to you? You're not alone. It sounds crazy, but thousands of people are actually feeling trapped by their good jobs. Because in today's day and age, bringing home a good paycheck is still somehow not enough. You're lying in bed at night thinking, what if my company makes cuts? What if I get fired? Taking a shower the next morning, groggy and dreading work, thinking, what if I'm put all this time and effort in and still can't save enough for my kids to go to university? Eating your breakfast wondering, and this one so many people are feeling right now, will I ever be able to retire? Maybe you're worried about debt, feeling like no matter how hard you work, you're just treading water. You're dreading any kind of medical bill, car repair, or home maintenance issue that could knock out your finances off kilter. Or hey, maybe you're just frustrated because just spending all of your precious time grinding to that paycheck and you have no hours left in the day to spend with your family. Whether you're in IT, you're a doctor, a lawyer, a corporate worker, or a carpenter like I was, here's the problem. You are a sole source of income. Every penny you make comes from your direct time and effort. As long as this is the case, you're going to feel like you're on a hamster wheel. It's no way to live. But most of us have been conditioned to think that this is just how it is. That's life, right? That is as good as it gets. Well, here's the good news. I'm here to tell you that this is very normal perspective and is totally bonkers. I'm here to tell you that you can stop worrying and start building up the cash you need to buy back your time, stability, and freedom right now. And you can do it all totally passively from the comfort of your own laptop with property investing. You're probably thinking, property investing? Doesn't that take a lot of work? Going around, finding properties, fixing them up, looking for a seller, etc., etc. Not the way we do it. You can invest in properties for totally passive income from your couch and making £5,000 to £10,000 per property without ever having eyes on the property in person, without experience and very little capital up front. I'll show you how in a moment. My name is David France and I'm a property investor with a multi-million-pound portfolio in the UK. And I've helped countless people experiencing the same exact problems you're experiencing right now, minimize their stress and maximize their freedom and time. There's no better moment than right now to start taking control of your finances and your future through the power of completely passive property investing. I spent years hearing about it and I was always skeptical. Now, I'm kicking myself for not starting sooner. As I said a moment ago, before I built this business up, I was a carpenter. I was working my butt off in the freezing cold, worrying about falling off a ladder and breaking my back, or even worse, missing a nail with my hammer and breaking something silly like my finger. A week out with a broken pinky would be enough to get me replaced on the job site. And then what? I knew I was expendable at work, but I was far from expendable at home. I didn't have my children yet, but my wife and I were planning, and I couldn't even afford to support the two of us, let alone the kids. After years of grinding, saving, and hoping, I decided I had enough. I dove headfirst into property investing. I'd heard from countless people it was the way out of worrying about money. I'd seen the fixing and flipping shows on television, and while my interest was piqued, I always figured it was too good to be true, or that it was more work and cost than people made it out to be. But I was ready for a change. I didn't have kids yet, so I took the plunge, and here's how it went. I'm going to tell you the super quick version of my first deal. I call it the Detroit disaster. Here's what not to do if you need to build up cash on the side. I bought a single family home in Detroit, Michigan, in the USA. I was inexperienced and I was completely on my own. I didn't know any better. I just thought I'm going to buy a rental property and become a landlord. That's what everyone's telling me. I bought this property outright and immediately tied up all my cash. It sounds silly now, but people do this every day. I want to spare you this pain. I very quickly realized that if I wanted to cover my expenses and actually profit from this sort of thing, I would need to buy about 10 more houses. If you have the money to do this, there's no better way to get financially free. But I barely had money for this one. I would have been up the creek without a paddle, if not for the one critical aha moment. The light bulb went off when I realized how the person who sold me the Detroit property earned £6,000 fee from me just for facilitating the deal. Let me repeat that. This guy simply set up the deal and made £6,000 for doing it and seeing it through. He had very, very little skin in the game. He didn't sink any money into renovating the property. He very well never have been to the property at all. He just found it, put the necessary numbers together and facilitated the transaction between myself and the owner. I said, how do I get in on that? Pay attention now, because I'm going to tell you exactly how that guy did it to make this happen. He spent some time online looking for properties. He finds that property and puts it under contract. I won't get into the weeds on this, but basically he has the seller legally agree on paper that he will find someone to buy the property from the seller. So he puts an email together with the deal details and sends it out to a list of people he has. I happen to be on that list, got the email and bought the deal. Again, he didn't actually own the property for a minute. He didn't put any cash deposits down, ask the bank for a mortgage. He just sold the property to me for the seller and charged £6,000 fee to do it. Now, imagine if this guy made just 3 of these sales every month, which isn't that much if you know what you're doing. That's £18,000 per month. And now think if he did it every month for a year. That's £216,000 a year, a respectable CEO salary for a fraction of the time and effort. This is something you can start doing within a few weeks to boost your income. Heck, you can even start building your cash reserves this way to build a whole portfolio of real estate without even quitting your day job. This property investing strategy is kind of like earning a finder's fee. Now, in this case of the gentleman who sold me the house, he most certainly spent countless hours looking for a property that was distressed or discounted on the open market. He had definitive experience and know-how. I'm not saying he just logged onto his computer one day and started making money. He had to vet and ensure it was a winner before putting in my hands and charging me that finder's fee. Now, before you start to say, okay, so that kind of thing sounds like a lot of work after all, well, you can do it this way. The hard way, like the gentleman in Detroit did, going on the MLS, trying to find properties, handling negotiations, spending countless hours researching, talking to real estate agents, basically dealing with all the challenges by yourself. And that's all supposing you spotted a good deal in the first place. If you're a real rugged individualist with time and money to burn that way, I say more power to you. But my guess, that is not the case, or you wouldn't be watching this. My guess is you're looking for a done-for-you approach where you can start making some pops of cash ASAP. You can hit the easy button right now. You can start working with our team directly from day one to start making £5,000 to £10,000 a clip. With our program, you gain direct and immediate access to a whole network of properties, tools, education, community, and one-to-one guidance. Our team of experts will hold your hand, work with you to identify the best investment opportunities through one of our largest property networks in the UK. Once we find the deals, we'll help you negotiate them, and once we've negotiated them, we'll help you find your buyers like me in Detroit and maximize your returns. Now you have a choice to make. You can keep living in stress and uncertainty, wake up tomorrow with the same dread and same burning questions, or you can take the first step towards financial freedom. I'm not saying your life will change overnight. That's never true. But can wake up knowing where you're going tomorrow. You can book a call with our team today and at least see what this whole thing is all about. I'm here to tell you that you absolutely can and will start making money with property if you dedicate yourself to doing so. Let us help you turn your worries into passive wealth. Your future self will thank you. It's time to break free from the hamster wheel and start living life. Don't wait. Schedule your call today.